Sometimes with BPD, we're going through that much pain that your brain is screaming for a solution. And the solution might be sending that text, or completely withdrawing and isolating yourself, or taking something, whether that's drugs or alcohol, to numb the pain, or self-harming. And a lot of these things make the situation worse, not better. So I want to talk about something that you can use as a first aid kit, not for the body, but for the mind, that will help make the situation better, not worse. And that is self-soothing. So self-soothing is not about avoiding your problems or pretending you're not hurt. It's also not a long-term solution. It's a vital crisis survival skill. It's about being a parent to yourself, or even being your own best friend in a moment of need. Self-soothing skills are basically a way of calming your nervous system and telling your brain that you are safe right now. So it's like a 5 senses toolkit. You might not use all of them. You might pick and choose, or use a combination of any ones that you feel are most effective for you. They're practical skills that you can use as your menu of options. It won't all work for everyone, but the goal is to find what resonates. So the first one we have is sight, and this obviously has to do with anything involving your eyes. Looking at old photos that make you smile, a beautiful place, beautiful sunrise or sunset, the stars in the sky, anything that is visually calming or beautiful. You can also organize your space around you so that it is neat and pleasing to your eyes. So the next one we have is sound. And here you can listen to anything that calms you. You might have a calming playlist. Try not to play any sad music. It's not very helpful. So either something like music that might calm you, or ambient sounds, nature sounds, forest, rain, waves. And you can also listen to the sounds that you have around you. Maybe you can listen to birds if there are any around you, or the breeze. Sometimes even listening to your own breath is super calming. And then we have smell, which is directly linked to memory and emotion. So smell something that calms you. Lavender is often touted as a very calming smell, or anything that calms you specifically. Like, I really like the smell of books, so if it's a smell that calms you, go for it. Don't knock it till you tried it. And then we have taste. So this is anything to do with your taste sensations. So that might be drinking a nice warm cup of cocoa, or really slowly eating a piece of chocolate and enjoying that taste. So the idea is to do it mindfully and not just binge to numb your emotions. It's about doing it mindfully and really exploring every flavor in your mouth. And then we have touch, which can also be super comforting. Wrap yourself in the blanket, the softest blanket. Hold a piece of ice in your hand. That can be just an intense, shocking sensation that can make you forget about everything else, distract you. Or use a stress ball, for example. Anything to do with touch. And the last thing I like to add in is movement. It's not necessarily anything to do with the senses, but it can also be great in addition to, or complementing any of what I've just mentioned, to distract you, to stop you from sending that text, or to bring the emotions down a notch. So that can be anything from dancing, exercise, going for a run. And these skills are great in a crisis, but what is even better is to practice them beforehand. You can't build an ark when the floods are already there. So best is to practice, see what works for you in a moment of calm, so that you're already ready for when that stressful situation or that moment of crisis comes. And these aren't gonna work miracles, but I feel like even if you're lowering your stress levels or your levels of emotion or anxiety from a 10 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10, that's already a huge success. The goal is not euphoria or, like I say, working miracles. It's being able to tolerate that distress and stop yourself from doing those things that you might regret later. So self-soothing is like a radical act of self-compassion. You're telling yourself that my feelings are valid and I deserve comfort. It's a skill that gets stronger and more effective the more you use it. And it tells you you are not powerless against your emotions. You have a toolkit. You have the ability to hold your own hand through a crisis. So I hope you found this video helpful. If there are self-soothing skills that you found particularly effective, leave them in the comments below. You might help someone else find their new go-to. And above all, please be gentle with yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and also to others. Took control.